All right, here it is, guys. The Marzia bucket bag by Kaur Threads, releasing today. This is the cutest little bucket bag I think I've ever seen. Now, I'm going to paraphrase this and say I am not a big bucket fan person. I love this little bucket bag. This is mine. This is my new bag. You have 4 outside pockets, 2 on the side, 1 in the back, and 1 in the front. It has the drawstring. You have grab handles. You have a shoulder strap. And then with any drawstring, you have to take the time to work with it a little bit. And over time, it'll open and close easily. This one does pretty good. And you've got a zipper pocket on the inside and 2 slip pockets and actually tons of room. You've got purse feet on the bottom. And don't be, this is not hard to do. This is the cutest little thing. This is the cutest little thing. There are a lot of little details in it that you need to make sure that you do. There are little slits on the side for where this rivet goes to hold the D-ring. That way you're not going through any stitching. Genius. Oh my gosh. This is so cute. So then you close it up. See, it's even getting easier. I've just done it a few times. Close it up, and nothing's going to fall out. Look at that. Now, I used the camel faux leather, I think is what it's called, from Sew Yours. It's nice and soft, which is good. Now, I put foam in the main pieces. It doesn't even need that. On my next one, I'm not going to even do that. It's a very unstructured bag, and it's meant to be that way. But look how cute it is. Here's the back, and the front, and the sides. Nice, big, good-sized pockets. The Marzia by Kaur Threads. Sandy, you outdid yourself on this one. I think this bag was a long time coming. I think she worked on it a long time. It's well worth the wait, you guys. It is, I would call it a medium, small to medium bucket bag. You should go get the pattern and make it. Take your time. It's not hard. She does call it intermediate, but I'm sure there's a reason for that. I didn't have any trouble with it. I just took my time. Go get it. Thanks for watching. Be sure and do a thumbs up. See you soon. Let's get started. Hi everyone, this is Barbie with Jeannie's Designs, and I'm getting ready to sew up the Marzia bucket bag by Kaur Threads, releasing today. So I've done all the prep. I am going to do my purse feet. I'm trying to do it in the order of the pattern. So let me get my holes punched here for my purse feet. This is a little different bucket bag. It's got a ton of pockets on the inside and outside. But then it also trying to turn over the pattern piece. Is a little more slouchy. You know, some bucket bags are pretty firm. This one is intended to be kind of slouchy. So, we shall, oh, here, I dropped that one. I'll just have to get a different one. Not bending over. Let me see if I need to add a little extra. Yep, I do. Yep. Let me grab a little piece here. Sometimes on these purse feet, you need to add a little bit extra stabilizer. So I always add a little bit extra piece of Decaville Heavy. To give it a little more stability. All right, so we're going to do the drawstring tab. So you have two pieces. I'm going to put a piece of double-sided tape down the middle. And put those two wrong sides together. And then we're going to sew around that. And I'm going to decrease my stitch length to a 3, believe it or not. Yeah. So the next thing is I'm doing a row of top stitching on my base all the way around. And I'll pull that thread to the inside as well. All right, so we have each connector, and this piece has some Decaville Light in it. Marked it down the center, put some double-sided tape, and we're going to fold that to the center. And stitch around that at an 1/8. All the way around, 4 sides. I'll pull those threads to the back too. Okay, there's one. Let's do number 2. All right, so we have our 2 strap connectors. Follow her directions for creating the holes on each one. One is a little further in than the other end, just FYI. Okay, and set those aside. Now grab your drawstring, put a line down the center, Add some, she says 1/8 inch double-sided tape, which is fine if you can get the paper off of it. And we're going to fold it just shy of that center line because this is going to be folded again. So don't fold all the way to the center line. Just like you do with straps, you want to leave a tiny little folding space. Same principle here. Okay, on your handles, that's what we're doing next. Measure in from each short end and make a line all the way across. And then make 4 marks here, 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 and here, here, and here, here, and here. Then she wants you to use some scrap pieces. I'm just going to use Decabelle Heavy. And we're going to add that right at that mark. This is where your rivets are going to go when the bag's being attached. So you need to reinforce it somehow. I'm going to trim that just a little. You don't want this too big because then you won't be able to fold it. So those two, that's what it should look like. And then we're going to repeat that on this end. There, and we're going to put tape down the long side. I'm just going to use 1/4 inch tape this time. I'm not messing with 1/8 inch. Can't do it. Okay, down each long side. Oop, that's 1/8. I do not want that. Okay, I'll speed that up, just adding my tape down each long edge of the handle. Okay, there's one. Okay, then we're going to fold that in. To the center, which I didn't mark my center. Very bad. Very bad, girl. Mark your center. a pen. Oh, goodness gracious. Sometimes pens work and sometimes they don't. There we go. Let's do this one. Now this, see, it didn't mark it. Don't like that. Okay. All right, let's fold these into the center line. And we are not leaving any space as we fold these. All right, so on each long end, we're going to sew, let me increase my stitch length back, what she tells you to in the pattern, all the way down both long edges. A certain distance in, so I have my seam guide here, because I want it to be consistent. See that 1/4 inch tape is folding beautifully. Not a fan of 1/8 inch. It has its purposes though. And I do use it, but I don't really like it. I'll just be honest. All right, let's do the other side. Okay. See how nice that is with the seam guide? It's just perfect. All right, let's repeat that on the other handle. Now, on both of these, we're going to measure up on the right side a certain distance and mark it. Here's my pen. Okay. There. And this is on the right side of the handle. I know. Living dangerously. Do it on both ends. Because we're going to make this a kind of a semi-rolled handle. Okay, I'm going to add between those marks, I'm going to add some double-sided tape on the wrong side. I'm just going to have to find, here it is. Yeah. And we're going to fold that wrong sides together. me find my other mark here, right there. Okay. Take your paper off your tape if you can. And between those lines, we are going to fold that wrong sides together. Now this time, we are not going to want to add extra rows of stitching. So we want that's one reason why I put tape. We want this to be very accurate, because we're not going to want to add extra rows here. So get your not your raw edges, but your open edges nice and even. Okay, just like that. Okay, and now let's do that on this other one. Now we're going to stitch down that raw edge at 1/8 of an inch. Back stitching at the beginning and the end. All right, so we finished our handles, and now we're working on our shoulder strap. So mark the marks, and I forgot to do it, so I'm going to do it here in a second. I know. I kind of have them, and so put a piece of tape down the center. Or you could put the tape here. I have Decaville Light on the back of here. And we're going to center this right down the center of the handle. I know. Just try and be as accurate as possible with your markings that she provided in the pattern. Okay. Now we're going to put tape down either side and fold that in. So it's kind of like a double-sided handle, except there is going to be raw edge. So you want to use something that is okay for raw edge. This is not a crossbody strap. You could do this if you wanted to make it longer, but this is just a shoulder strap. Okay. All right, then we're going to fold that in. My trash is getting full over here. right, we're going to finish our handle, and I am going to add strap-ins. I wasn't going to, but I really like the look of strap-ins, so we are going to 3/4 inch. She doesn't call for strap-ins, so if you want to do a little less hardware, that's where you would do it. Perfect. Okay. Then we are going to fold that in. And we're going to add a ribbon. I am using my wide rivets right in between your stitching. Perfect. I don't always use these wide ones, but I like the look of them. Isn't that pretty? All right, we're going to repeat that on this opposite side. And this strap-in is a little too big for this, but it will be fine. I decided it'll be fine. I did, after 3 years, have to get a new screwdriver. Mine just up and died on me. Not surprising. I use it so much. All right, let's fold this one in. Make our hole. And then I'll go press these. Oh. Oh, I'm gonna grab another one. All right, let's go press those. All right, so take your exterior piece C and piece D. On the, I think this is piece center pocket, add a tag if you'd like to, right here. And then on each of these, draw a line, like she tells you, on the wrong side and put a piece of tape. We're going to fold that down to that line. Just like that. On all 4 of these pieces. And then we're actually going to repeat that on piece D. Let me move that. If I can get the tape off. Boy. It's very humid here today. Hot and humid. Okay, I'm going to pound that just a little. Okay. Then with each of these sets, we're going to put them wrong sides together and clip them. And we're going to top stitch along the top. I'll do one of these and then I'll just repeat it because it's a repetitive process on all of them. I'm going to sew across the top, and I'm going to try and not have mine peeking, although I don't mind it. Okay. 1/8 of an inch. And then we'll baste the sides and the bottom. I missed it right there, and I don't think I'm going to worry about that, but I might as well fix it, because it'll get caught. Let me do my seams. Okay, so we're going to repeat that with this other one, and then we're also going to repeat it with piece D. Okay. Wrong sides together. Top stitch the top and baste the sides and the bottom. And I'll do these last 3 on fast forward. All right, so I'm going to do a little truth telling here. On these 2 side pieces, make sure that you do the markings on the longer edge on both pieces, because this ends up being the top. The longer straight edge is the top of the pocket. All right, so take your piece A, and in the directions when you were doing your prep, you should have marked all your centers. So there should be a center here, 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 and here, and here. Take your ruler and line up those centers and intersect the line that she just had you draw. That was a certain amount distance up from the bottom. Intersect that line here with that center, intersect that line here with the center, and here. This is how we're going to put our pockets on. And then on your back piece, you should have drawn that same line. And actually, we need to draw that center line on this piece. So let me get this out of the way so you can see. This is the back piece. And we're just going to draw, I'm using chalk. I don't want to have to worry about getting leather markings off. So there's that line. So now take this. Remember, this is the top, and we marked that the top earlier. Take your piece that has your tag or the centerpiece, either way, and we're going to line that up on our center marks. Now, you can use tape. I'm going to use some of my Sew Tights. We'll see how it goes. And get that lined up nice and evenly. Oh. And we're going to baste it in place. So there. I don't know if that's going to stay. Feels kind of like it's moving around on me. Let me go grab some painter's tape. Hold on. All right, I got some painter's tape. It's not really all that helpful because my stuff is pretty slippery. But we're going to sew down the sides. And across the bottom. It's holding that. Yeah. Okay. Barely. Very slippery. Okay. All right, so there's one, and we are going to repeat that with our side panels when you forget. All right, so same thing here. Find the centers, and we're going to add those. Let me just make sure I'm doing it right this time. Yeah. And you will have space over here, just FYI. You'll have space on the side here. Okay, let me get this over. And line those up. And we're going to do the same thing, down each side, across the bottom, and back up to the top. Okay, let's do it. I'm going to take these off. I forgot to take these off. I don't need them on there anymore. Back up. I have many clips on the floor today. Many. That's okay. All right, we're going to repeat that on this side. Just make sure things are lined up. And I started from the bottom. That's okay. Let's do it here. And back up. All right. So let's show you what it should look like. All right, so the wider portion is the top and the bottom is a little narrower. So you had a pocket here, a center pocket, and a side pocket. Now I'm going to take the time to get all my chalk markings off of there. Let me grab a little wipe. Perfect. Okay, next step. All right, take the last remaining back center pocket and we're going to add it just like we did our front pocket. Let me see. Yeah. So here's the front center pocket with our tag, and we're just going to, the back panel, we're going to add that other pocket. Down each side and across the bottom and back up. Okay. Now, the one thing that she does tell you to do is redraw your lines for your straps. Oh, because they've disappeared over your under your pocket. Okay. Perfect. Then we're going to grab our handles. Let me see. Here's one and here's another. And we're going to add, draw up a line and mark it. I'm still using chalk. On the wrong side on both. And we're going to add tape. Let me get that out of the way. Up to that line. Okay. You know, I've tried so many chalk pens. This is my actual absolute favorite. It's Madame So's. I really like it. All right. I'm going to use 1/2-inch tape, and we're going to just put a piece right down the center there, up to that line on all 4 pieces. It'll be a challenge getting the tape off, but that's okay. Okay. Perfect. Let me clean up my space just a little here. I have stuff everywhere. There we go. All right, now we are going to take these, excuse me, let's do one side at a time. And what we're going to end up doing is putting it between those lines, just like that. Yeah. All right. Yeah, if I can get my paper off. This camel does not like to release the paper off the double-sided tape. But like many things, you have to be persistent. There we go. It didn't release it. That's weird. There we go. There we go. That'll be good. All right, we're going to lay that right between our lines, covering our stitches. Just like that. Okay. The inside of the curve is where the fold is. Oh, that one came off easy. Thank you. Just make sure nothing is twisted. Perfect. Okay, just like that. Then we're going to stitch an 1/8 of an inch up to that mark. So I need to mark this again here. Where'd my marker go? Right here. Okay. So we're going to stitch up on both sides. We're not coming across, evidently, which is interesting. Okay. Let's do it. 1/8 of an inch. So there's that for that side. Now we're going to take our back panel and we're going to add it here on the right. Line it up. Man, my stuff is so slippery. I'm going to have to use extra clips here. Okay. And let's see what the seam allowance is here. Okay. Attaching the back panel to our front panel. Alrighty. Thread everywhere. Okay. Perfect. Then, oh, she wants you to, she wants us to, top stitch that down, just on either side. It actually won't end up being seamed because this is where the other handle is going to go. interesting. Okay. It's kind of a long piece. Okay. Interesting. So that won't end up being seen. Well, it might be. It might be seen up here. That's okay. All right, and then we're going to take this and add it to this side. I think she wants you to put this handle on first. So let's draw this handle. Let me just see. Okay. Okay, here's one. I'm going to go ahead and draw it. She gives you the markings on how to draw that line. Grab your, oh, I already put it on there. Okay. Okay, let me read ahead. Just 1 second. All right, this step to add this second handle is very important. Notice we have not sewn our bag together yet. Just FYI. Let me clean up over here just a little. I got too much stuff here. Okay. So we did draw our lines for this first part of our handle because it's going to go on like this. Going to take the tape off and we're going to attach it between those two lines just like we did this handle. And we're going to go ahead and sew it on 1/8 of an inch. This part of the handle is loose, as it should be. Okay. Okay, let's do it. And remember, we're only sewing up to that line. We're not going across. Now I'm back stitching. She has you pull the threads to the back. I'm back stitching because my thread matches so well. So you do whatever you feel comfortable with. And then we're going to come down the other side. Okay. Very interesting how she's having to do this. I like it, actually. That Sandy is very smart. Okay. I'm going to get rid of my chalk marks. If there are any visible. Okay. All right, now we're going to put these two together, and they're going to be kind of kitty corner. They're not going to feel like they should go this way. All right. Put them together. It all works out. Trust the process. That's what I tell myself. I'll get a couple more clips. Okay, so this is what you have. You have one handle that's attached. This handle is not yet attached. And we're going to sew that seam together at the seam allowance in the pattern. All right. Okay. Now, we're going to stitch these flat, and you're just going to have to do your best to keep everything out of the way. And it'll be fine. You can stitch it from the outside or the inside, whatever works for you. Again, these particular stitches are not seen. You're just really stitching that seam flat. Just make sure there's nothing under there that you don't want to be under there. Oop, and I didn't put my needle down. Okay, I'm going to turn it and come back down. Don't worry, don't feel bad about squishing it. It's all good. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn it right side out. And that's what you have. So this is the last side where this is going to be attached. And she says it's very important to use not the 1/2 inch double-sided tape here, but a 1/4 inch on each side, because we are going to add it here after we mark our seam, or where it goes. Okay, so she gives you the measurement, mark it. This is where your strap is going to go. The one remaining strap. Oops, I didn't get that marked, did I? Okay. Perfect. And then you may have to remark this one because, yeah, my chalk went away. All right. So I'm going to take that off and add that right there. Perfect. Now I'm going to take it off. I think she has you take it off. Yeah. Interesting, my 1/4 inch double side tape. Well, I spoke too soon, didn't I? Yes, I did. I said it was going to come off easier, but it's really not. No. There we go. Okay. All right. Now we're going to again stitch in the inside. So I'm going to do it from the outside so I can see what I'm doing. And we're just going to stitch up to that mark. Make sure you don't have anything under here that you don't want. Okay. And squish it however you need to get some good top stitching. Okay. Not too bad, really. Just cutting my threads. All right, let's do the other side. Just make sure you're stopping with your needle down. If you have to move things around, which you probably will. Okay, let's see how we did. Very easy. I'm actually surprised at how easy that was. Just getting all my chalk marks off. And then I'll burn some threads. Perfect. Let's see if there's any here. Okay. Oh, there's more. All right. There you go. Oh my goodness. It's not a huge bag. It's much smaller than I anticipated. Well, I'm not done yet, so for heaven's sakes. All right. Next step. All right, so let's take our piece E, the exterior bottom panel, and put those two right sides together. We're going to stitch those together at the seam allowance in the pattern. went and got a cup of coffee. And it's right here. It's a little too dangerous. I have to find a place to put it over here. Yeah. Okay. Let's do the other side. Actually, it'd probably be easier to do this. We're going to stitch these flat on this one side. And then we'll do the other side. Makes it a little bit easier on yourself. All right, now put the other side together. We're going to repeat that. Okay, and top stitch. So these two pieces do have Decadal light in them. This is the bottom, part of the bottom panel. Okay. All right. Perfect. Now, take your bottom. That's fine. That's we already found the centers. Actually, we found the centers. So now we are going to turn it wrong side out, and we're going to attach it to the bottom, centering everything up. Let me just make sure. Let's see. Exterior panel, wrong side out. Place exterior panel, right sides together. Okay, so there is a slight difference in the top and the bottom of this bottom piece E. So just be aware of that. You want to attach the top part of it here. You'll be able to tell because it'll fit better. Yeah, a lot better, actually. All right, I moved over to Thor, and so I have my piece A wrong side out and my bottom exterior E right sides together with panel A. Okay, so that's how we're doing it. And we are going to do it with the seam allowance in the pattern. Let me see if I can find my marking right there. Okay, hold your threads, pull up. Actually, I'm going to decrease my stitch length just a little. Clips are getting stuck on my little table. That's what that clicking noise is. Because I'm forgetting to lift it up. It's a beautiful machine. My friend is gonna love it. See these two clips, like they're making a noise because they're getting caught on the table. That's pretty funny, actually. Okay, almost there. Okay, beautiful. Now we are going to fold this down, and that seam that we just created, we want going down. And we're going to top stitch. I'm just going to look and see how it looks. Oh my gosh, it looks fabulous. I love it. So I'm trying to decide if I want to take my table off. I'm actually just going to turn this right side out and do it that way. Then that way I can leave my table on for now. This is a cute little bag. I know I'm going to say it. It might be my new bag. All right, so now I'm just going to feel under here to make sure that that seam is going down towards the bottom. And I'm going to start on the side over here. And I'll pull that thread to the back. There we go. Oh, you know what? I'm going to increase my stitch length back up. There we go. So under here I have the seam going down towards the bottom. Stop where I started and we'll pull those threads to the back. Okay. Beautimous. Okay. There's one. There's the second one. Let's even those threads up. It's much easier to tie off. Kaur Threads, Sandy at Kaur Threads is very big on pulling threads to the back. And that's probably something I learned from her, to do that pretty consistently, because it does make a difference in the finish of your bag. Okay. That looks really good, actually. Oh, this is so cute. Okay, next step. All right, so now we're going to add our two connectors. So the connectors go on the side pockets. So this is the front, and the connectors go here centered and here centered. And we're just going to baste those on at 1/8 of an inch. Centered. do the other one. All right, perfect. Now, set this aside for just a minute. Take your two top pieces, exterior pieces, and make sure that you have your tops together. So the top has a line across it. I don't know if you can see it, but earlier we did label T for top. And then on the side seams, we are going to sew down to those marks, back stitch, and then start again, back stitch, and down again. So you're doing 2 lines of stitches at the seam allowance in the pattern. Yeah. Let me find my seam allowance right there. Okay. Again, I'm gonna decrease my stitch length. So I'm getting to that first mark. And I'm just going to lift my threads a little and start again at that mark, second mark. Perfect. So I'll show you what it ends up being. So you have a little space there that is not stitched. We're going to repeat that on this side. Okay. I love this little table because it has the seam allowances on it. We're going to go down to that first mark. I'm going to lift and go past it to that second line. Okay, perfect. Okay, now we're going to top stitch on either side. Okay, let me read this just one second. Hold on. Yep, we're going to top stitch on each side of the seam with the seam open. Okay, here we go. You're flattening out that seam that you just created, which is nice. Okay. All right, so that's what you have. That's what it looks like on that side. You still have that little hole in there. Amazing. Okay. Let's do that on this side as well. Making sure nothing's under there that you don't want it to be. Perfect. So again, you have that little hole there. All right, next step. All right, so now we're going to put our top band in. Again, make sure that you marked where your top goes and find the center. And we're going to clip that together all the way around. And I'll do that on fast forward. So you're going to top stitch with the connectors going up, but the handles are going down. I know. I'm going to start over here on the side. I'm going to turn it right side out. It'll be easier to do. This is a really cute bag. This is the perfect vinyl for it too. Nice and soft. Okay. All right, here we go. So again, I am going to pull the threads to the back. I'm going to increase my stitch length just a little bit. Here we go. Make sure that seam is going down and your connectors are going up. But your handles are going down. One's up, one's down. Okay, stop where you started. And we'll pull those threads to the back. Or to the inside, however you want. However you want to think about it. There's one. There's two. Oops. Even out your threads. Tie it off. All right. Oh my gosh. That looks so good. Ooh, I see some leather pen marking. There we go. Okay, next step. All right, so for the handles, we are going to stitch. Let me see what you can see. From here, where we stopped on the original, up to a line that corresponds with this top stitching line, over and back down. And she has you put a little piece of tape. So I have a little 1/2-inch piece of tape that I'm just putting right there so you can see that. Then I'm going to fold that down after I get the paper off the tape. 1/2 inch is better. then with a piece of chalk pen, I'm going to trace that top stitching so that it corresponds with that top stitching that we just did. Okay, so 1/2 inch piece of tape, put it on the back of your handle, just like that. And we're going to take it off and tape it down. And tape it. And then I'm going to go back over to the fabricator to do this. And so I have lines across there with the chalk that you can see. I can see them there. And we're going to start where we stopped, up, over, and back down. Very interesting. Okay, let's go over to Thumper. All right. Let's do it. You're going to have to just really push stuff out of the way. Which is not hard to do. And get it under there. Make sure nothing's under there that shouldn't be. And start where you stopped. Perfect. Okay, let's see what I stitch like this. And I'm back stitching. You could pull those threads to the back easily. Then we're going to go across the top that matches our top stitching. There. Okay, and then come back down. Not bad. It might be easier to do it on Thor. I thought it would be easier to do it here, but I don't know. That wasn't hard. I'm going to do this. I'll do another one. Let me do this other back one. Let's see. Oh my goodness. This is an absolutely adorable bag. 4 outside pockets, 2 centers. Let me move you up here. 2 centers. So here's the front center, then the back center, and then 2 side pockets. This is going to be my new bag. I'm already convinced. So your connector tab should be up. And now you've connected these. I don't know if we put grommets. I'll have to see. All right, next step. All right, so take your bottom panel, clip around each corner, what she tells you to in the pattern, and then find your front and back. And I'm going to use my little metal clips so nothing slides around on me. So I'm going to clip it. You could certainly staple if you felt like you needed to. I may. We'll see. So I'm matching my centers on both front and back to start with. And then the sides have a seam that you're going to match up. We'll see how it fits. So far, so good. All right, so we want to we are gonna add rivets here, and so we're gonna add a piece of I'm gonna use some of my faux there. If I can get the tape off. I feel like I've been fighting this tape the entire time. Okay, and so it goes right where the handles are, back here, where the rivet's going to go, right there. Just going to tape it there, and then when we put the rivet in, it'll just be a little reinforcement there. On all 4 spots. Then we have tape on the top. We're going to fold that down because this is a drop-in. One more. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Okay, now we're going to take the tape off. And fold it down to our line. Okay. Fold it down to your line. I will put clips on here because my guess is this will not hold. I have experience with this lining or this bow. It's okay. Some holds the tape better than others, that's for sure. And I'm going to use some of these clips because I'm not sure I'm going to get to this today. And I don't want to have my faux marred with any wonder clips. Okay. And these don't leave any markings. which is really nice. And then we'll turn it right side out. Perfect. Okay. Let's turn it right side out. Oh, I did trim my bottom just a little bit too. I forgot to mention that. Just trim that a little, by about half. Okay, let's turn it right side out and we'll see. And then I am going to go and take a break. And we'll probably finish it up tomorrow. I'll put you up here. Hey guys. This is a cute bag. I'm going to make another one right away. And I am not a bucket bag person, but this is adorable. So there's the bottom. Isn't that cute? With that top stitching around the bottom. I love it. Okay. Oh my gosh. Isn't that the cutest little thing you've ever seen? It's not big. It's not tiny, but it's not big. I love it. I see a thread here. Burn that little guy. Oh my gosh. Sandy, you outdid yourself. This is adorable. Okay, so the next step will be to work. Oh, I think the next step is to do our grommet holes. I don't have the grommets yet, so it's a good thing. I think they're coming today. They might even be in the mail, but I'll go make sure and we'll finish it up tomorrow. Thanks for watching. All right, so you need 2 more reinforcement pieces of your vinyl, leather, whatever you choose, or I guess you could use Decaville Light. I'm just using these pieces because that's what she says to do. We are going to add these where our connectors go on the inside. Let me pull you up here so you can see. Kind of hard to see. So here's where my connector is. We're going to add it right here on that seam on both sides. The gods, the double-sided god tapes are being good to me today. I know. Shocking. Okay, right there. So now, where that hole is that we didn't stitch through, we're going to go and make it a slit through that stabilizer piece that we just added. Let's see if I can keep that out of the way. So there's that little hole there. We just want to make the slit through that stabilizer piece. Okay. And I just see that that was really too low. So I'm going to move that up. I didn't realize that. Okay, move it up and we'll try that again. Good to know. Make sure you don't go through your stitches. There we go. So there's the hole. Okay. So on this one, oops, I just dropped the, yeah. Very interesting. Doesn't feel like it's gone through, so. I'm trying to be very careful so I don't go through my stitches on either side of that. There we go. Very interesting. Okay, let's try this other one before I cut myself. And I need to move it up. There we go. Okay. Perfect. That one is better for some reason. I don't know what the deal is here. Let me try it again. There we go. Okay. All right, now set this piece aside. Let me put my clip back on there. And I dropped something in here. Oh, I dropped a... I dropped something in the trash. I think I dropped a grommet, so we'll have to get that. All right, next step. All right, take one of your lining panel L's, and I just marked that on the wrong side. It needs to be down here, you goofy girl. This is the top where these little cutouts are. So, I am going to add, she has your drop box. I'm just going to add mine because I had my center point marked on there. I'm going to come up a little. There we go. Okay. And we're going to sew around the outside. Oh my gosh, the zipper tape gods are with me today, you guys. If you've been watching this video, they have not been friendly to Barbie. Okay, we're going to sew around the outside of our zipper overlay. Grab my little duck scissors. I love these little things. They're not the sharpest. These I just got on Amazon, so they're not extremely sharp, but I do love them. Okay. Perfect. Now, grab your zipper tape, which I had here just a second ago. Oh, here it is. Let's add some tape and a zipper pull. So she has you do it a little different. Yeah, I'm going to do it my standard way. So I'm going to grab my interior zipper pocket lining. There are so many ways to do a zipper pocket. I'm just, so on this, if I can get a hold of my tape, add the tape on the right side of your lining on both short ends. I'm going to start with one end. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's not quite as humid today. And I am going to add my zipper pull after I get this on because I like to have it straight. Nice and straight and flat. Okay. Right side up, zipper tape. Right side up, zipper lining. And we're going to baste that in place. Okay, I'm going to turn that over and sew it nice and flat. This is about the only way I do zipper overlays anymore. Okay, now we're going to bring this up to the other side. The zipper is right side up. The lining is right side up. Okay. Tape, don't fail me now. There we go. Line up your sides and the top. And repeat. Now we have to cut this to be able to get the other one flat. Okay. So now we have two pieces. One is bigger, that's the top. My watch is telling me I need to get up. Okay. Okay, I will. Now let's put on our zipper pull. After I put some more tape on here to put it inside our overlay. Okay, now since this is the top and I want my zipper closing to the left, I'm going to put my zipper pull on. I always get confused on this part, on this side. Let's see if I did it right. Yeah, this is the top, I believe. Yeah, okay. I'm getting my little zipper jig to close my zipper since I went too far. Okay. Grab your lining piece with your overlay, and this is the top. That's exactly what we want. And we want to add, I'm going to do one side at a time and center that. Perfect. Lift that up. Take the paper off the tape. And get that in there nice and even. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Perfect. Turn it over. See, and this is the bigger piece. It's going to fall down. And you still lose a little bit here, but that's okay. Right, so with that laying flat open, just like this, we're going to stitch around the inside. All right, hold please. Okay, let's stitch around the inside. Because I'm using so much tape, I'm going to make sure I come up a little bit, that my thread is on its way back up. Otherwise, I might skip a stitch on the corner. I certainly don't want to do that. Okay. Perfect. Let me burn those little tiny threads. And we're going to come down and clip this in place. I'm going to have to look, this is a drop-in, so we don't need to leave this open, but I'm going to check. Let me see. No. Okay. So let's turn it right side up, fold it over, and we're going to stitch down the sides and across the bottom. She has you do it a little different way, and her way is perfect as well. And I didn't cut off my excess, so I'm going to have to just feel for it. Come back the other side. Oops, I just ran out of bobbin. Okay, hold please. All right, new bobbin. Let me fix it, finish it. I always forget with Text 70, you need to have one more bobbin than you would normally with Text 45. Just takes more stuff. Okay. Let's cut that zipper tape and then we'll burn it. And then I'm going to just cut off my extra. I should have just sewed this together rather than lose this 1/2 inch. My friend told me that on YouTube. I always forget to do it. Okay, let's burn the thread, zipper tape, and the thread. Perfect. Nice little zipper pocket. Love it. Next step. All right, take your slip pocket and mark what she says on the long edges. Tape it. Pull up your tape and fold those in. This is how I do all my slip pockets now. So it is a great way to do that. Excuse me, and I learned it from Sandy at Car Threads. It's the best way to do them. That way you get nice crisp edges in the corners. And it's so much easier. Okay, then we're going to fold that wrong sides together and clip that and baste it across the top. Yeah. So much easier. Don't do the sides, just the top. Okay. Take your trim piece, and I have a line down the center. And we're going to add that just shy of the center. Take your other piece of paper off and fold that over, matching your long edges as best you can. So you should have about the same on both sides, and we're going to just top stitch that. Now, always look at the back of this, because there are times, and I know I've said this many times, there are times that you might miss the back. If you do, just do another row of top stitching. Easy peasy. Okay, I'm going to trim off my excess on both sides. Okay. There you go. Nice slip pocket. All right, and then take your other lining piece and measure up from the bottom. Let me find my center here. Find the center of your pocket and measure up from the bottom of your other lining piece, what she tells you in the pattern. Center that up, and I'm just going to use some sew tight magnets to keep it where I want it. Okay. And then we're going to sew down the sides, down the side, across the bottom, and back up. And I'll have to decide if I want to divide this. I probably will put a pin pocket. Yeah, these snips feel so awkward to me. I don't know. I'm just trying to get used to using them. They're sharp as anything, but they're just kind of awkward. Okay, let's get my magnets out of here. Yep. Okay, then yeah, I'm going to do a little pen pocket, and I'm going to measure in 2.5 inches from the side and make a mark with the air erasing pen, and then we're going to come up on that line. I'm trying to force myself to use them. Hoping that will help me. Let's see. Okay, I am going to put a rivet here. Let me get my hole punch. See if I can get down there. Make a hole right there. Just make sure whatever you do, you don't go over any stitches. I am going to get a piece of Decaville Heavy, since there's no interfacing on this lining. Okay. Perfect. Let me grab a rivet. This rivet is a little different color, but I'm okay with that for this. Maybe I have one of these. Let's see. Yeah, I do. Okay. Rivet. Stabilizer. Cap. Okay. I'll go press that. And I'll be right back. All right, take your upper pieces, attach your magnet where she tells you. Make sure you mark. I'm just going to go ahead and add some tape. It's easier to do it when it's nice and flat before your fold down of your lining pieces. Then we're going to attach them to each lining piece. And it doesn't matter which side. Just make sure that your top is going down and center those on. Okay. Let me do the other side. And then we'll stitch that with the seam allowance in the pattern and fold it up and top stitch on the lining. Okay, let's do it. All right, same as we did on the outside, make your 2 marks here. We're going to sew down here and start back here, leaving that little hole. So now she tells you to measure a certain distance. This is interesting. Okay. From your seam or from the bottom here. Interesting, interesting, interesting. We're going to snip this. We're going to snip it. without cutting your threads. And I think ooh, very close. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, let me read ahead. Hold on. All right, so put double-sided tape down the sides, and you're going to have a snip here. And she wants you to either iron or tape them down so they're nice and flat. Okay, on both sides, just like that, and the top as well. Okay. The thing about Kaur threads patterns is they are very detailed, and the finished product is always just beautiful because you take a bunch of extra little steps which are worth it. So don't skip the extra steps because the end result will be much better than you anticipate. Okay, let's repeat that on the other side. I'll do it on fast forward. Oh, somebody's at my door. Hold, please. All right, so we put tape down each side, flatten those out in here. Mark your centers on all four sides of your bottom, and we're going to attach that. Now remember, this is a drop-in, so we don't need to leave any holes. All right, let's sew this on. Can you see it? All right, now I already put the tape around the top here, and so we're going to fold that down. To the line that we drew initially. There's a little piece of decabill that I'm just going to trim off there. There we go. Okay. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm the only one who has trouble with this double-sided tape. I'm sure I'm not, but it's just challenging lately. There we go. It's not that hard, Barb. Just do it. Okay. The tape is holding really good on this mermaid. Let's make sure it's nice and straight. There we go. Okay. Next step. All right, so we're going to take our lining and we're going to add it into, I'm going to put you up here so you can see better, into our exterior. And clip it together. Now I've already got clips all the way around the exterior, so I'm just going to use those clips. All right, let's top stitch. I'm going to do it here because my cylinder arm is moved because I'm awaiting my pedestal cylinder arm, and so I'm just going to do it here. Okay, hold on. Oh gosh. All right, now we're going to put our D-rings on and do our grommet holes. All right, so we're going to go along and do our grommet holes. Take your time, make sure you're not cutting anything you shouldn't. Let me get rid of all my little remnants. And we will, these are press-in. So there are two pieces to each one. One has a little lip on it, and the other one is flat. And so they go in like this, and this one goes here, and then it's pressed. Love it. All right, let me get everything out that I need, and we'll proceed with that. All right, so I don't, my grommet press is over somewhere. I can't get to it right now. So I'm just going to do this the old-fashioned way. And let me grab all my little, I'll do one with you and then we'll do the rest on fast forward because it's very noisy. Okay, so here we go. This goes, oops, that's not the right one. This goes in here, the one with the little protrusion, that goes there. The flat one goes on top. And then you're supposed to have this screwed into something and then you just press down. But I'm doing it the old-fashioned way and it works just fine. So there are two. Aren't they pretty? Oh, I love them. All right, I'm going to do the rest on fast forward. All right, so now we're going to put our D-rings on. So this is how it goes. That's the whole purpose of that little hole there. So when you put this on, you're not going through any stitches. Okay, so let me do this one. So you put your rivet through here and then through those holes that you created earlier. And you may have to kind of wiggle it to get it to go in there. There it is. Perfect. Put your D-ring on. And add a cap. I think my other cap fell on the floor. Right there. Okay. Now I'll go press those and I'll be right back. All right, so now we're going to put our rivets on our handles. So find your handles, measure down right in the center where she tells you. I'm using a pen because it's going to be covered up. Just make sure they stay straight. And you're measuring from the top of the bag. So from here down to where you want to put it. Good finishing touches. Make your hole. Make sure you're staying between your stitches and not going through these stitches here. Fumble fingers. Yeah. Okay, one more. I'm using my long rivets. Probably not necessary for this one. Okay. So there, I'll go press those. I already did these two. So let me go press them. I'll be right back. All right, so I got my handles on. So now take the front of the bag, take your drawstring, find the center of your drawstring, and we're going to put it through these two holes in the back and pull it so that it's centered. Yeah. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to go, oh, you know what? I want the bottom. Let me do it the opposite way. I want the seam to be on the bottom, not on the top. I don't know if she tells you that. She probably does. Yeah. Okay, let's find the center. Pull that to the center. Perfect. Then we're going to weed this in and out of our other grommets. Just go straight. I'm just going to make sure my center is staying straight. And out the front hole. Okay, let's do it on this side. You guys, this is my new bag. I'm just going to say it out loud. It is so cute. And it's not hard. You know, sometimes bucket bags I think can be more difficult than they need to be, but this one is not at all. Okay. So when you're done, these two should match, and they do. Oh my gosh, look how cute that is. Absolutely adorable. Just make sure nothing is twisted. You can always straighten it, but Okay, then grab your tab. Let me find it. Hold, please. All right, so take your connector here. What's it called? What does she call it? Drawstring tab. And add it there and just clip it so that it's snug. You want to be able to make sure that it's snug on both sides, and then pull it off. And we're going to add a couple rivets right in the middle there. Okay, right? And she gives you a measurement where it should be on both ends. Just make it sure it's nice and centered. And you're going to go through all the layers. I know, it feels weird. Well, let me see. Let me make sure that's the case. Yeah. Punch the holes and mark points, install the rivets. Yeah, the rivets go through all layers. Okay, so I'm just going to hold that for right there for a second. Let me grab my rivet press and my hammer. Okay. Oops. Okay, I might use a long rivet actually, because it's going through a lot of layers. Yep. Let's do that. Okay, one more. Stay away from your stitching on all sides. You don't want to go through your stitching because that'll just decrease the integrity of your stitching. Okay, so just like that. Okay, let me go press those and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm using my Kelly's to pull this through. So I'm going up through my tab here, out the other side, and grabbing my drawstring and pulling it through. It's just so much easier not to have to struggle. See how easy that was? Oh my gosh, perfect. All right, this is nice. Now, I have two sizes of zipper ends. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. Let's see. I need a little something to put it in. So let me grab my... I'd rather use these smaller ones, but will they fit? Yeah, they will. Let's see. I might have to push them in there. Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. So use the smallest. See, these big ones I got from Mormino, and I have never used them. They're massive. I was sure I will use them someday, but not yet. Oh, that's perfect. That's just perfect. All right, let me grab my screwdriver. Grab a screw. And let's attach that. I love it. I didn't get it in there straight, but let's get it in there good. Okay. I gotta get some smaller screws. For some reason that screw is too big. All right, let's do this one. This has a little extra stuff here. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Yep. Of course, the first one goes on easy and this one doesn't, so I will make it work. We will get it in there. There we go. There we go. Okay. Don't pull it out, Barb. Gotta get stuff out of my way. There we go. Just takes a little finagling. Make sure it's deep in there, though. You know what? Let me use my screwdriver. Okay, let me find some smaller screws. Always keep your stash of screws. If you ever get any extra, which I always send extra, almost always. Perfect. Let's get this one out of here. It's the wrong color and it's too long. And we are almost done. Perfect. Okay. You guys, this is the cutest little bucket bag I think I've ever made. And I've only made maybe 2 other bucket bags. This is my favorite. This is the, let me get the picture. Marzia bucket bag by Kaur Threads. And here it is. It is the cutest little guy. It's got purse feet on the bottom. Oh, let me get the things caught. Purse feet on the bottom. You've got a pocket here. You've got a pocket here. You have a front pocket. You have a back pocket. You've got the drawstring closure. You've got a shoulder handle. You've got 2 handles. All right, let's open the drawstring. So you open it up. And inside, here, let me push this down just a little. I put knots here. I need to move those knots down just a little. But I'll do that later. You got a zipper pocket inside and 2 slip pockets. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let me move this down just a little. so I can open up the bucket bag all the way, Bob. There we go. That's better. You don't have to put the knots on since we put the zipper ends on, but I thought it was kind of cute to do it that way. There we go. There we go. And now you can open it wide, and it has tons of room, but there are 4 outside pockets, 2 inside slip pockets, and a zipper pocket. So, you know, somebody said, I think it was Nancy, said things get lost in the bottom. I don't think this one is big enough for stuff to get lost in the bottom. I really don't. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. This is my new bag. Just going to say it out loud. I'm going to work on getting these knots where I want them. You don't probably need the knots if you have the zipper in because it's not going to go anywhere. But get a little less there. I want them to be even too. Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh. So cute. And I made a center mark here that I need to get rid of. There we go. Oh my gosh. I love it. Love it, love it. The Marzia bucket bag releases today. And you need to actually, with all bucket bags, you got to work the drawstring a little bit. And over time, it'll get much easier to open and close. Isn't that the cutest little thing? Oh my gosh. I love the handles, number one, and then I'd love to have a shoulder strap. It's not adjustable. You could certainly make an adjustable shoulder strap for it if you wanted to. Oh, I've got a little plastic thing on my finger. I didn't know what that was. She calls it an intermediate, and it probably is, but there's nothing about it that isn't doable by even a beginner. You just need to take your time. So cute. Oh my gosh, I just love it. This is my new bag. Thanks for watching. Be sure and do a thumbs up. Thank you, Sandy. This is a great pattern. I love it.